think that's it. We're going to just start by talking mostly about the framework of connecting tonight. And then next week in our second part series, we will dive in more to some of the scripts and conversations and specifics of it. And I think that's it.
Awesome.
So welcome. Glad to have you guys.
All right, guys. So just a really quick recap of last week. Okay, so we talked about posting last week. It was an awesome Zoom, awesome training. We were so excited that so many people were on. When you get into the Yacht Club Facebook page, use the hashtags YC Zooms and YC Training, and all of our recordings are going to pop up, so they're there for you guys if you missed it. So, but just very quickly, posting should be consistent, varied, you guys, and a reflection of who you are. And just make sure that we never want to share a post. We always want to make sure we copy it and use it as our own. You know, put your own little personal spin on it. Last week we had everybody download Buffer. Okay, so reach out to us. Let us help you set that up if you need help. Make sure all posts are public. That's huge. Make sure your posts are public, and you can edit the privacy, guys. So if you don't want posts about your kids to be public or anything like that, that can only go out to friends. But make sure that everything that you want to share with intention for your people is public. And we want to be posting at least once a day on our personal pages and the HIA page. So that's just a recap real quick of posting. And check out those hashtags, you guys, YC Zooms and YC Training when you get a chance. And the recording of this will be on there tonight too.
All right. Okay, guys, Eric Worre, if you have not received this book or purchased this book or downloaded this book to Audible, this is a must-have if you are building a business. And I would highly recommend, you can get it on Audible. You can listen to it, but I would highly encourage you to get it in a hard copy because you want to write in it and highlight in it. But basically, this book, he does an amazing job of, he starts you out, which we're going to go through tonight, in creating your list and how, professionals have a written working list, amateurs have a mental list. So he starts out by talking to you about how to create that list and how to identify prospects and people who, we would call your warm market that you're close with, and people who are your cold market who are trying, maybe you've just connected with or you've just met or you haven't talked to in a while, how to bring them into your warm market where you're more comfortable with them. Different ways to connect to different groups. So people who are already into health and fitness, or people who are already maybe in a network marketing business. Let's see, what else? How to connect with people for the product and the opportunity, because the reality is we do have amazing products, but people deserve and need this opportunity as well. So how to be intentional about reaching out to people for both. Not just always the product. And then how to be very intentional about networking on purpose. If you are just posting and waiting people to come to you, that is not the kind of connecting that we're going to be talking about tonight. Being very intentional about reaching out to people with a purpose. So this is a must-have book. I know a lot of you probably already have it, but I have so many notes in here, written, highlighted, arrows, everything. So it really helped me when I got started. Malena, anything that you want to add to the GoPro?
It's a great resource, you guys. Like Stephanie said, I listened, so I tried to read it initially, and I have a hard time reading per se. I can read, but I have 2 kids, and so I needed to get it on audio. So I listened to it initially on audio, and I was able to understand the value of the book, and now I have a copy that I just constantly refer to, and that's why we're doing this, you guys, the back to the basics, because when you get stuck, when you get in a rut, and I would say that the easiest place to get into a rut is connecting. And I think Stephanie would agree. We find every excuse under the sun to not connect, and everybody does it. That's not a new thing. And if that's you, don't feel like you're alone. So, but going back to the basics and just going back to what Eric Worre has to say, it can be very calming and bring peace. And it just brings a strategy that will help you overcome those fears of whatever it is that you have going on. Good enough?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sorry, I was making sure I had the chat open because I can't see it.
I can.
Okay, guys, so I did bring up my list, and we're not going to go into like how specifically to create your list tonight, but that's okay. I think I have this written down, so this is a good thing. But you know, the one thing that we can show you after the Zoom tonight is how to download your friends list from Facebook. I personally went through and just did all mine. I can't share my screen with you, I don't think, but I have basically a Google sheet that's a spreadsheet where I have every single person. When I started, every single person that I was friends with on Facebook and every single person that I knew and every person they knew, and I wrote them all down. And I keep track of when I connect with them and when I follow up with them and things like that. Whoops. But the most important thing is that you have a working list. Messenger is not a list. Okay, so I hear a lot of people saying that they're just going back to their Messenger and they're just going to scroll through for days and find the people. That's not kind of the list we're talking about. And you're going to continue to add to your list. So Facebook does a great job of suggesting people that you may know who have mutual friends. I've met a lot of amazing friends in Facebook groups. We're going to talk about that next week, how to do that. But I'm, now having a baby in November. I'm in a group for new moms, and I've made a lot of great friends, in that group that I can talk to. And then acquaintances, so people that you see, at the gym or people that you see in a grocery store, those types of people. And you're going to continue to add and put them on your list. And that list will change. So like, I know Malena's going to talk about this, but you'll have your one big list, and then I feel like every 30 to 60 days I'm redoing a list, and I'm starting with a new list of new people that I want to connect to. But how you use your list and what it looks like, whether it's hard copy, written on a spreadsheet, is going to be personalized to what fits you. It's not a one-size-fits-all type of thing. So that's a must-have if you don't have your list. Anything else? What did I miss? You're muted, though.
Sorry. Okay. What Steph said, you guys, is we're going to honor time very closely tonight, as we always do, but we'll be on afterwards. So if you want to learn how to download your list, I will show you. I will actually download my list and show you how to do it. So if you want to stick around for that. Okay. All right, you guys. So I am going to talk about the art of connecting. When Stephanie and I were talking about this, there is not a lot of science. There's not a lot of, step 1, 2, 3 when it comes to connecting. It truly is an art, and, it takes time to master. I would say that, I am an intermediate connector. I don't think by any means, I'm at the point where I am a master connector. I connect well, I connect often, but I am constantly learning and constantly evolving. And I think if you can have that mindset, you're going to be super successful. Just that continual, I need to improve on this. I can improve on this. But it's definitely a skill that's developed over time, and you're constantly learning how to connect better or connect differently, or, the people that you meet, how to build a relationship with certain people. And also, when you make a connection that you didn't think was a great connection, how can you go back and connect again? It's not over. A no is not a no, and we people in general, especially when starting out with our isogenics business, we think we make connecting weird. We kind of make it uncomfortable for ourselves, and it's not uncomfortable. Your intention is to help people, and that is it. And if you kind of have the mentality that you are reaching out to people to sell isogenics, then your intention's wrong. And that's kind of, and I was there in the beginning, and that made it hard. It made it hard because, one of the biggest things that I hear, and I know Stephanie hears this too, Oh, I don't want to be salesy. Oh, I don't want to bother people. You know, I don't want people to think that I'm trying to get them to buy something, you know, but, you know, that truly should not be your intention. Your intention should be, I have this most amazing gift and I want to share it with you. And if it's for you, great. And if it's not, that's okay too. But, you know, really important, connecting is totally trial and error. You got to do it. You got to fail at it until you're successful. You know, you have to do it wrong over and over and over again until you get it right. So, and then when you get it right, you need to do it wrong some more. That's really just kind of how it is. So, you know, more often than not, we hold back from connecting because of this thing called fear. And I'm really big on fear. I talk about fear all the time. And whatever that fear is, you know, be, you know, afraid of what people are going to think of, you know, people are going to think I'm a salesperson, you know, people are going to think that this is strange, you know, just be who you are and know what you know and just go for it. You know, you really have to kind of overcome that hump, you know, and, you know, just be, like Michael Klaus says, 10 feet tall and bulletproof. Okay. All right. So, like I said before, it truly is an art. It's developed over time. You will eventually find your niche and your style, but the way that you're going to do that is by simply opening your mouth. You have to say something, you know, and whether you, I mean, we talk about verbal vomiting and things like that. Just do it. Just say whatever it is that you feel like you need to say. And, you know, I know Lindsay is on this Zoom. She will tell me all the time, Malena, people hear exactly what they need to hear at the exact moment in time. You know, so whatever it is that comes out of your mouth, that person is supposed to hear it at that moment in time. So keep that in mind. And then, you know, belief, you guys. So pretty much everybody on this Zoom is having an amazing product experience or has an amazing product experience. And you're never going off of these products and you love them and they've changed your life in one way or another, you know, and so now you're exploring the opportunity. And so why not share that with everybody else? And so if your belief in the fact that you are simply trying to love on other people and help other people is not at 100%, you really need to work on that belief. And, you know, it'll help you feel so much better when you just sit down and say, you know what, I'm not out to sell this to people. You know, I'm out to help people. I love these products. They've changed my life. And I want other people to feel that way too. And it's as simple as that. It's like so incredibly simple. And when you take it, you take the fear out of the equation and you take it down to the bare bones of what this is truly all about, it makes it that much easier. And then finally, Stephanie and I were talking about this when we were putting this Zoom together. When we both started, we were so concerned about getting enrollments. And, you know, it was like, oh, I have to get enrollment. I have to get an enrollment. And when you take that outcome out of all of this, and when your intention changes from signing people up to saving people's lives, it is like the most beautiful thing in the world, you know? And I mean, it's just mind blowing. So it's a mindset, it's a belief. And when it shifts, that's when it really, you know, kind of falls into place and the puzzle pieces start to fit and you become more comfortable with connecting, you know? And so belief, you guys, I talk about it all the time, you know, and overcoming fear, and fear creeps in all of the time. And so that's why we're really focusing on this back to basics series to help you guys, you know, with that fear component. But yeah, so it's an art, it's not a skill, and you're going to fail a lot and you got to get comfortable with that happening. So
I just want to add one thing is, you know, I would reach out to people all the time, different people. I would go to Malena and be like, you know, how are you communicating? You know, can you show me what you're doing to connect? And I'd go to Amanda, or I'd go to Kate, and, you know, and I'd watch Joe Boggs, and I would just take little bits and pieces. And like Malena said, I would just trial and error. And you find what works for you, being yourself. And the last thing is the outcome. Holy mackerel. That was huge for me. That stumped me. It would keep me from doing anything. And this is the reality. It just doesn't matter. Like, you reach out, like, the people are going to not respond. People are going to say no. People are just going to just fall off. And that is just how it goes. You can't be afraid of that, because really, ultimately, I would always take my mind there. Like, okay, well, what if somebody doesn't respond? Okay, so they didn't respond. So on to the next person, and just keep going. And sometimes people will. It'll be like 3 months, and all of a sudden the person will respond back to you, and you're like, wow, okay. So taking the outcome out of it is huge. Is huge. That's it.
Yeah, good stuff. And don't be afraid not to connect, you guys, for a no. There's a real quick plug. The book, Go for No, is a great little dialogue read. I recommend everybody reads that, and go for no, because if somebody tells you no, they might tell you yes, just like Stephanie said, 6 months down the road. So, go for the no. Absolutely. You have to ask to start that conversation, and you have to ask them for them to even know that you have a solution to offer. So keep that in mind too. But we're sitting on 8:20 stuff, just letting you know.
We'll just get through. We'll get through.
Okay,
so indirect connecting, that is more like, and we didn't really talk about it at the beginning, but the difference between indirect and direct is where you're being very intentional. You're going to that person, you're saying, look, I saw this and I have a solution. Indirect connecting is more of building that relationship and learning how to build trust with people and having a conversation so that you can transfer your belief about the products and listen for them to have people. If you have a conversation with people, they will reveal to you a pain or a hurt or something in their life where it opens the door for you to at least say, hey, I have a solution, whether it's health, whether it's money, whether it's something people, if you're having a real genuine conversation, that will open and you will have an opportunity to share with them with Isagenix. And next week we will talk about that, how to do that, because there is a form that we use. It's called Form, and how to talk to people. But remember, anyone who likes or comments on any of your posts is a prospect, someone who you can intentionally reach out to talk with and have a conversation with. This one is a huge one, and it's super easy. Sending private birthday messages and videos. People get so many just like messages on their wall, like happy birthday, happy birthday. Going into the message and actually saying to them, hey, happy birthday, I hope you're having a great day. What are your plans? Or, what are you going to do on your big day? And it opens a dialogue to have a conversation with them. And lastly, picking 3, 5 to 10 people a day to intentionally reach out to. This looks different whether you're building this full-time, part-time, but you need to be connecting to people every day. You can just go to their page, comment, hey, you guys look like you're having a great time. Like, it looks like you're up north. What lake are you on? Ask a question. Get them to respond so that you can go into a message and talk to them, or just make a comment, then go into Messenger and have a conversation. Ask them about what they're doing, how their trip was. It's really just talking to people. It really is. Without going too fast.
No, it's good. I would say that between the two, this is probably the easier one. Do you think this is easier, Stephanie?
Yes.
Yeah.
For me, I still have to be very intentional about being intentional. Right. And you guys, when you're afraid to do something, this is the only way you're going to get better at it. You just got to do it. Mm-hmm. So there's that.
It's good. Yeah, it's good. And this one, you guys have fun with indirect connecting. Meet new people, and like Stephanie said, this is a relationship. This is a relationship business. Network marketing is all about relationships. We have the best of both worlds because we get to have fun and we get to build relationships. We also have the best product on the market to share with people. So, I just, like I said, go into conversations and go into connecting 10 feet tall and bulletproof because, we have it going on with Isagenix. That's for sure. For show. Okay. Okay. All right. Moving on, you guys. All right. So Stephanie talked about indirect connecting, and as I do indirect connecting, but I'm a little bit more comfortable with direct connecting. I like to just go for it and just, be like, you should do what I do because it's amazing and I love these products, and but it's definitely should be saved for when you have a relationship already built with somebody or with someone that it's not one of those things where you're going to join a group and then friend somebody and then send them a message and say, hey, I do nutritional cleansing. You should do it. And that's too cold. There has to be some kind of a relationship built up. So obviously once that relationship has been established, it's appropriate to go for that direct connection. And this is where you guys, we talked about posting last week, why it's so important to be consistent with your posting, because it makes direct connecting easier, because having intention of reaching out to somebody when they've been seeing your posts, they've been seeing you consistently, talk about health and wellness and nutritional cleansing and intermittent fasting, and a healthy lifestyle. When you make that direct connection and you say, hey, I've been doing nutritional cleansing, it's changed my life, I love it, I think it would be something that you're really interested in. Is this a good time for you to learn some more information? They're not going to be completely broadside, and be like, why is this person talking to me? But they're going to say, hey, you know what? I've seen her post or his post, and, maybe they do have something that, I should take a look at. And they're so much more open to taking a look. So help me signs are huge. Okay. And they're everywhere, you guys. People put things on Facebook about how it's hard for them to lose weight, or they're so tired, they don't have any energy, or, I hate going to work, I wish I was home with my kids. Those are all reasons to connect with somebody, to build a relationship, and you really have to use your judgment on that. If you see a help me sign, if you see a red flag, how are you going to approach that person? If it's somebody that's in your very warm market and that you're close to, go for the direct connect. But, if it's somebody that you don't know very well, maybe build a relationship first, maybe do more of that indirect connecting until that relationship is built, and then go for that direct connection. But, something definitely, that I'm currently working on, and I know Glenn, my husband's working on, I know Stephanie's doing it too, is we have our lists where we're going through and identifying people who have characteristics of what we want for people on our team. We want organized people, we want focused people, we want driven people, we want people who don't give excuses, we want people who want a different life. And, we look for those attributes, and don't be afraid to go for that conversation and say, hey, I saw on your Facebook page that you said that you hate dropping your baby off at daycare in the morning. I felt the same way. Tell me a little bit about how that's making you feel, and start that conversation, but start it with intention. And your intention is to talk about our opportunity, so that very first message doesn't need to be, hey, I have this great opportunity, you can be home with your kids. They might be like, whoa, okay. But that conversation that you're starting is a very direct intention. So I hope does that make sense? Does that make sense, Steph? Do you have anything you want to add to that?
Well, I think for time, that's perfect start.
Right. Yeah.
We got next week.
Yeah. So you guys, we just wanted to, just lay a groundwork for what we were going to talk about here. And I mean, connecting is a massive, massive skill to tackle. And so we're just kind of laying the groundwork here. And then next week, we're going to dive into nitty gritty and details and examples and scripts and things like that. But yeah, so. Oh, I forgot about this one.
We can move this to next week if you want to have Glenn share real quick.
Yeah, I think we're going to move this to next week, you guys, because we're going to go ahead and have Glenn share. So yeah, good call, Steph.
All right, Glenn, I can't see your face, but Glenn Schrauben's here. He's gonna just give us a couple minutes or a few minutes on little nuggets of how he connects. So Glenn, take it away.
Hello, everybody. So just like on Tuesday, everything was hit on very well, and it was awesome. Hold on one second. Sorry, we're sitting in the same room. She's like, you're echoing. I'm like, of course. So some big things to take away from this is every master was once a disaster. So remind yourself as you're first starting to date people, like you didn't know what you're doing. You didn't know how to take somebody out to dinner or lunch or the movies, or you didn't know how to walk when you were first a kid or ride your bike. It was a learned behavior. And so connecting with people is a learned behavior. You can't do it perfectly right away. So don't compare yourself to people. And then the next thing is, it is easy to connect. And it's as easy as walking up to somebody and finding 6 things in common with them. No matter who it is or where you meet this person, you can find 6 things in common. Be that you both went to high school, you have dogs, you have cats, you have kids, you have grandparents, you have parents. Like most everybody has parents. Most everybody has maybe an animal at home. So there's 2 connections right there that you can have with people very easily. And then work on the health and fitness side. But again, with connecting, going back to like dating and developing a relationship with somebody of a significant other. Like you didn't just all of a sudden like, hey, I like you, let's go out, and all of a sudden you're married. Like this is a relationship builder to get married or to move into a home together or an apartment or whatever you got going on. And this is building a relationship. You can't just come in and steamroll somebody and say, nutritional cleansing's for you, you should do it, and you're going to be great, let's go. Oh, and by the way, there's a business, you're going to do that too. Like that's not connecting with them. That's not understanding their story. Ask questions, take the time to ask questions, build a relationship, find their belief, and also get an emotion tied to where they're at. Everybody's in a part A and you want to get them to part B, but you want the emotions of where they are at part A and how they're going to feel in part B when they get there. If it's a weight loss journey or if it's a performance journey, find out how they're going to feel in part B and how they feel in part A, and then connect the dots with isogenics. Oh, you are, 10 pounds underweight and you want to gain 10 pounds so you look really good. Okay, well, why do you feel bad when you're 10 pounds underweight? Well, I don't fit in any clothes, nobody looks at me, blah blah blah. And kind of again develop that relationship, get it out of them, ask those questions. It's not an immediate sale right. So the more you work on just building your relationship with people, they're going to trust you and they're going to come and find you when they're ready. So that's kind of what I have on connecting. Hopefully that makes sense. And everybody can do it. I connect with new people every day. I just actually had, as everybody is talking, Stephanie and Malena were talking on the Zoom. I had somebody mention a comment, oh man, my kid had to go back to school, I wish I could be there. And I just mentioned, oh, hey, that's a bummer. And I messaged her and said, hey, I saw your post about leaving school. So I messaged her. And there's somebody else wanted to go vegan. Hey, what about doing this? Have you thought about this? She said, no, but I'm not going to leave that alone. I'm going to gear post to that. So it's about making that connection. I got the time Nazi on me. I got to go. See you guys.
Sorry, guys. Glenn's got me in the background. Like, get off the Zoom. It's 8:30. It's 8:30. So, all right. So, yeah, that's where we're gonna leave it at, you guys, for right now. We're done. So thank you, Glenn, for sharing. You guys, Glenn is somebody to totally reach out to if you have questions on connecting. I talk to him all the time about connecting. He's my husband, obviously. So, he's great. He talks to people. Before he left for work this morning, he was like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna go out on campus for about 5 minutes and, go shake a couple people's hands. And I'm like, what? How do you do that? How do you just go talk to people? You're amazing. So he's a really good person to reach out to if you want some tips on just how to hang out with people and talk to people. He's good. So, but we're at 8:30, you guys, and that's it for tonight. So, but we're going to hang out. Stephanie and I are going to stay. And Amanda and Lindsay, if you guys want to hang, not to make you commit or anything. And I figured that you would. We're going to go ahead and just, let everybody unmute themselves. Hop off if you're done for the evening, but if you're not, we want to answer some questions. And I am also going to show you guys how to download a list from Facebook if you would like to learn how to do that. So do we have any questions? Do we have any questions?
It can be about anything. It can be about posting. It doesn't have to be just about tonight. So yeah, don't be shy.
I'm going to unmute everybody. I can figure out how to do that. All right, so everybody's unmuted, just FYI, guys. All right. Any questions? Is everybody just waiting to see how to download your list on Facebook? Give me a thumbs up if that's what you're waiting for. Okay.
I have a quick question, real quick, Malena, if you don't mind. Because we were talking about it the other night, and I wanted everyone else's opinions too, and even Stephanie. So at what point do you bless the next? Because I know we were talking about this the other night, but I just want to start identifying that more so that's not such an issue that I'm running into, and that, you know, at what point do you say, okay, love you, when you're ready to do this fully, I'm here for you, you know, but let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, so
At that point, do
how
you
much weight do you feel like
or
you
anybody
lose,
else?
like at this point, to be where you want to be?
So
Maybe
you guys,
60?
what Caitlin just, I'm going to go ahead and mute again.
Yeah.
So I'm going to send you a couple links when we get off the phone, but I actually lost 100 pounds back in 2010 because I had tried every diet on the planet and got up to about 240 pounds, and I'm only 5'4". I'm pretty short. And so I, at the time, did not.
Wait, is Chris talking to you?
No, she's not. Surgery and lost,
just mute
100 pounds. I was like smaller than I was in junior high school. And with
I did. Okay. Sorry. OMG. All right. I'm sorry. I thought Chris was answering your question, Caitlin. So I'm like, Okay. So you guys, so what Caitlin just asked, this is really good. Listen to this, you guys, because Caitlin and I are on the phone. And then if anybody wants to chime in, I would love some advice. So bless and next. And I am a huge proponent for keeping your sanity when it comes to people. So we have all supported somebody who just does not match our energy. You know, whether it comes to taking care of themselves physically or with the opportunity, you know, they don't match our energy, and we're there and we're loving on them and we're helping them, and they are self-sabotaging over and over and over and over and over again. And people do that, you know, and so who we are with our intention, we want to help people, but you can't continue to help somebody at the expense of your own sanity and your own capacity, you know? And so Caitlin and I were having this conversation, and, you know, when you reach that point of frustration and people just aren't helping themselves, you have to eloquently say, I'm here for you when you're ready. I am here for you when you're ready. I will walk that path with you. I will be on this journey with you. I will hold your hand. I will go through the ups and downs, but you need to show me that you're ready to commit for yourself. And that's hard for some people to hear. And, you know, I'm going to be very honest. Some people, that's exactly what they need to light that fire. And then other people, they will be very offended and they might not ever talk to you again. And that's okay. That's okay. You know, but like Lindsay always says, they are going to hear exactly what they need to hear at the exact right moment. And whatever you say to them will change their life eventually. Maybe not at that moment in time, but they will come back and they will thank you. So does anybody else have something to add to the whole bless and next thing? Because you really have to keep your own sanity, guys. Go ahead, Steph.
You know, just loving on people where they are. And I agree with Malena, there does come a point where you'll know it when you just need to say, you know what, you're just not ready. Now it's not the time, but I will be here for you. But, you know, I touch on people and love on them, and it's not always about isogenics. I might just message them and just say, hey, I saw this, and I hope you're doing well. And you know, I just continue to love on people, because I've had people that come around a year and a half after I originally connected to them that enrolled. You know, so you just don't know. But that's all I wanted to add. Amanda and Lindsay, feel free to jump in too. But does anybody else have a question?
Was that good, Caitlin? Is that what you needed?
Yes, that was perfect. So it's just nice to know other people's perspectives on that, because that's a hard balance to figure out.
It is. It is hard. It's hard to let people go, but you have to remember that the more energy that you're giving to somebody who's not helping themselves, you're missing out on helping other people.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
People are losing the good stuff of you because you're giving the good stuff to somebody who's not ready. So.
And to be honest, the second I started cutting the cord with that, I enrolled one person, and then I have another one on the back burner. And it was like, I mean, my little drought started ending the second I started cutting that. So I just wanted to know how to avoid that in the future and set those boundaries. So thank you.
Very cool. Any other questions, guys, before I show you how to download the list?
I'd like to ask something. Or, can you guys hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I really loved, like, the help me signs. I think that's great because I see them all day, every day on Facebook. And, just so you guys know, like, I am like, I wouldn't even say I'm a novice connector. Like, I'm a baby connector because that's not like my strength. And so I'm not good. I'm not like genuine. I'm not just naturally good at it. So, but I would like you guys to, I would like to just hear from you, like maybe a little bit more, like I wrote down, some verbiage you used, but like, just maybe say a couple different scenarios, like between you, Steph, and Glenn, of just different things you've used in verbiage to those help signs.
Right now, or we can talk about it now. I know next week we're going to give specific scripts.
Oh, okay.
That go through like all the things we talked about tonight. Like, so how will people have a help me sign? Like, how do we address it? Would that be?
Yeah, no, that's fine. We can wait till next week for sure.
We can give one example for sure.
Yeah, I have something that actually happened today. So so people have a tendency to post like funny memes when they're hurting. Have you guys ever noticed that? Like they post. It was something about somebody getting, like they were making fun of healthy people, and like it's like me trying to eat healthy, but then I'm in my bedroom and they're like pulling out cupcakes from under their bed or something. I saw this meme or whatever. You guys have probably seen that stuff. And so I just took the initiative and said, hey, I just saw your post. I was just wondering, kind of what's going on there. And that was really awkward and weird, but it opened up a really good conversation with that person. And so we started talking about, how they're really struggling with their health and living a healthy lifestyle, and I think that, Lindsay, it goes back to just your belief in the product, which, I mean, obviously yours is like a million, but also the belief in yourself and what you have to offer and the help that you can give someone, and so I just was like, you know what, it's not that person that's making fun of themselves, pulling cupcakes out from under their bed. They're trying to get people to laugh on Facebook, but they're in a lot of pain on the inside. And I'm like, I can help them. I can, give them a solution. And, whether they enroll tomorrow or a year from now, they're going to enroll for sure. So, I mean, that's an example of, I see that and I go for it. So, but we're going to have exact scripts next week. Any other questions, guys, before we talk about or show you how to download your list?
I have one. Can you hear me okay?
Who am I listening to?
Michelle.
Hey, Michelle.
Hey.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys are going to cover this or not one of the other nights, but I'm wondering about using LinkedIn. I know there's supposedly a resource who we can go to, but I guess she's been out of the picture because of either a surgery or medical issues.
Yeah. That's Katie Niebaum. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I use LinkedIn. I would say I'm a novice at it. But it's, we've got, I don't think Teresa's on the call anymore, but I know that a lot of people that have a lot of success on it, and just use it like you use Facebook, Okay. But Teresa, are you on here? Where's Teresa? I don't see her, honey.
I'm on here.
Hey.
I can't.
There you are. Can you talk about LinkedIn?
Yeah, I was really gung-ho this summer, and I worked with it a lot. It's hard to get used to because it's so much different than like Facebook, but I think it's really promising because what I found is a lot of Facebook friends, I feel like they may not have very much money. And a lot of the people on LinkedIn, I feel like are career people, and they have more money. And so and I've had some success with it, but it's hard to keep up LinkedIn and Facebook both. I feel like it's a lot of work doing the double duty. But I think LinkedIn is really good, and I think it's a great way to go. And I need to get back to it.
Do you use one of the buffers for that?
I've not used a buffer. I was posting the same thing I was posting on Facebook. I was posting in LinkedIn, and I actually had people come to me and say, hey, I'm interested in what you're doing, and they message me on there, and it's a little bit hard. It's hard to keep up both, I guess is what I'm saying. Yeah, and I think it would be good to keep up both, but especially like right now I've just been super busy, so Facebook's easier for me. So, but I think LinkedIn is really good.
Okay.
And Michelle, I have someone, and that's something that Malena and I, I'll write that down, because there is one person that I have in mind that uses LinkedIn a lot that we might be able to connect you to. But it's something that we can put on the list of things to put on, a Zoom or moving forward. But I do have someone in mind I can connect you to.
Okay, I'd appreciate that.
Yeah.
And Michelle, also LinkedIn is great for the opportunity aspect of Isogenics. It's very good because it's a networking social media site for business. So keep that in mind. And I think too, Steph, we can probably find a recording of one of Katie's trainings.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll get you that. That's a really good question, Michelle. But, like Teresa said, master one thing first, and then, be kind to yourself. Love yourself through the process as you go through this. Maybe LinkedIn's going to be your thing. Maybe Facebook will be your thing. But, just kind of keep that in mind.
Okay.
You can burn yourself out. So, love yourself through this process. So.
One other question. You guys said that when you're going through and looking at your list, you're looking to see people who you want to build your business with. Have you ever had somebody that you wanted to build your business with who didn't use the product?
No.
Because I hear people say that they started this because of the business part only. So,
Well, so Amanda is a great person to speak to that. So I'm just going to let you unmute yourself, Amanda, and talk.
Yeah.
They have to be a product user to do the business.
Mm-hmm.
They have to order products. They don't have to technically eat the product to do it, but you do have to order. So, I started for the business, that's what I wanted. So then the products, that's just how you get in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really, is that answering your question?
Yeah, I just wasn't sure. I've heard people say that they started it for the business part only. So, I just wasn't sure how that worked for somebody in that type of situation, that they started for the business first and then they became a fan and lover of the product afterwards. It was an afterthought.
Yeah, that's where I was. I definitely wanted the business opportunity. That's what drew me to here. And Lindsay too, as well, I think was more business than the product. Okay. And so, we had to order the products. So we just started taking them and then we started loving them. But definitely my first thought was, I need this business. And so I'm going to share this products with people.
Okay.
There's another script that we can share with you too, Michelle. It's called the top-down approach, and it's from Zach and Eden Slobin. Steph, you want to write that down? Because I'm not writing it down. But so they have an actual script of how to approach people that you think would be good for the business, but they talk about the fact that this is an amazing opportunity and the products happen to be amazing as well.
Okay, that'd be great.
Any business builder will tell you that you need to be a product of the product. So it's going to be really hard to build a successful business when your belief in the product isn't 1,000%, if that makes sense.
Right.
So, but yeah, good questions. Really good questions. All right, guys, anybody else have question, comment, or anything like that before I show you how to share? Or not show you how to share, but show you how to download your list? I know everybody's waiting on that. My husband sounds like everyone's waiting on that, Malena. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and go back to share my screen. All right, hold on just a second. Okay. All right, so when you guys, hold on, I got a bunch of stuff going on here. Stephanie, can you see me? Can you hop on here and tell me if you can see this? Just real quick.
Yeah, I can see it.
You can see it, okay. All right, guys, so you're at Facebook, okay? You've logged in. I'll go back to my main page like I've logged in, or here's mine, or whatever. Go to home when I log in. Sorry, hang on. Oh, don't be awesome, internet.
Don't be awesome, internet.
Okay. All right, so once you log into Facebook, guys, you're going to go to this little arrow, and you're going to get to settings. Wow, look at this transformation. Awesome.
That's me. That's me.
Yeah, that's gonna be me. All right, sorry. So you go to settings, you guys, and it's going to take you here, and this is so simple. It's going to ask, it's going to say right here, download a copy of your Facebook data. All right. Start my archive is what you click. You got to put in your Facebook password. All right. And so what this says is it's going to take a little while for us to gather your photos, walls, wall posts, messages, and other information. We will then ask you to verify your identity in order to help protect the security of your account. Start my archive. And it says we are gathering your information, and we will send an email to my email address when it's ready for download. And then I hit OK. And then that email comes to my email, obviously, and it just says, it gives me the file, and it goes right on my computer into my downloads. And you open it, and then you click on, hold on, let me see if I can, I have it, so I'm gonna pretend like I can go into, how do I get to my downloads on this computer, Glenn?
I don't know.
Honey.
Matt, I don't know.
You're so helpful.
Go to your Finder. It's at the
Here?
the two faces. Well, I always use the icon. Yeah.
Okay, I'm here. Okay,
Yeah.
there you go. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
All right, and so I can go to my downloads, and I'm gonna find my Facebook right here. So here, this is from March 1st. So this is the file that it would give you, and what you guys click on is HTML, and then you click on Friends, and voila, there's your list. It's kind of awesome. So let me show you that again, because that was a little confusing because I was tripping over myself. So once you're here, okay, and it said it's going to email you, and you get that email, and it'll say, click here to download your file. The file will go into your downloads. So get to your computer. Obviously, if you have a Mac, click on the little guy with two faces. Get to your downloads, and then you're going to look for a Facebook file with your name on it. And then you're going to click on HTML, and then you're going to click on Friends. And this is so slick, you guys. You can literally just highlight all of this, copy it, and then put it into an Excel spreadsheet or a Google Sheets spreadsheet. So
Malena, just one more time. Don't go all the way to here, but just for people who may have missed. So can you go back to your Facebook?
yeah.
Okay. So we can just back to like the home page. You just click on the arrow, correct? When you're at home, when you're starting from the beginning.
You want me to go from the very beginning?
Yep, just one quick time, because I think people might need to see it one time.
So I logged in, and your plan is to download your Facebook friends list. Okay, so you get on Facebook. Come over here, you guys, to the little arrow at the top right. You got to do this on a computer. You're not going to be able to do it on your phone. You're not going to be able to do it on a tablet. It's not going to work. Go down to settings. Click download a copy of your Facebook data. All right. All right, and it will take you here, and it'll ask you to put in your password, and I just did that, so it's not asking me to do it again. Then it will send you an email to whatever your email is on Facebook. So if you guys don't have access to your Facebook email, because a lot of people, you know, maybe have like an old school email that they don't use anymore, you will probably want to change your email for Facebook so you can get this. Once you get that email, it'll give you directions to download it. So it will download it to your computer, and then you're going to go to the downloads in your computer, and then you're going to find the file that says Facebook and your name. Open up the HTML file and open up the friends, and you can just copy and paste. And the cool thing about this, you guys, it's your friends, but it's also, wow, a lot of friends. Sent friend requests, deleted friend requests, removed friends, and that's it. So you can have like, you know, I mean, you know, if you went through a period where you went through and you kind of siphoned out your Facebook friends and you're like, man, I want to be friends with them again, you can come to this list and you can find out who those people were. So it's really nice. Good? Any questions on that, guys? Is everybody feeling pretty decent about that? Okay. I'm going to assume that's good. All right. All right, Steph, anything else?
Nope. Unless anybody else has anything else.
Nope. I'm not seeing anybody. There's nothing on the chat, I don't think. I don't see. Let me see here real quick.
Oh.
Okay, I think we're good. All right, you guys.
Thank you guys so much.
Next Tuesday, we'll have a continuation of connecting, so we hope to see you then. And if you have any questions in the meantime, let us know.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Have a good night.
Bye.
Crazy.